Hello. How's it going? Hey, you got the right button this time. I'm getting better at this. Okay, so we got to continue our coding challenge, our game jam. My wardrobe door is open. Is that bad luck? Something might come out of it. Not really. Yeah, so I guess if you weren't aware, if you weren't on the weekend, the challenge is out to make a game using only a UI asset pack, and I'm doing it with other game dev YouTubers, which is pretty fun. So we're going to be continuing with that. I'm just organizing my desktop so that you guys can see it and activate the chat. How could I forget? Here, activate source, activate. I wasted so much time this evening trying to get a little scroller to like increase the scale of this particular scene so that I could zoom into my eyes, but I couldn't do it because I'm bad at OBS. Okay. Cool. We got a folder on the screen. There shouldn't be one there. Okay, awesome. We're ready to roll? Just test the chat, make sure that's working. It is. Okay, cool. So, we're making a bullet hell, which is, I think, going to be okay. I've kind of made something similar before for another challenge. So, in principle, what happened? Nothing happened. It's all good. Wait, what is my title? What's my title? Can I make a game using only a UI asset pack? That's my title, right? Nothing happened. We're all good. Okay. Okay, so where are we at? We've got a world and an enemy. So basically right now, it's pretty minimal. We've got our little arrow thingo, and he can shoot, and we've got the enemy, which is above, and it can shoot, and you can die, and it can die as well. It does a lot of damage because I was just trying to test death. There's no feedback right now, so you can't actually tell that it does damage, I guess. I haven't been able to kill it, so I don't know what's going on. How much damage do I do versus how much damage does it do? That was the last thing we tested. I wonder... Let's just run it for a second. Okay, let's have a look at the scene under remote. I'm thinking there might be a problem with collisions. Weapon manager, we've got all these bullets, and they are scanning for area 5. We're on area 4, so that's all good, and the enemy bullets are scanning for area 4, and its damage is not on an area. That would explain it. Probably should have checked there first. Character, bullet, 2D. Gotta remember to press that. Okay. Enemy 1. Right. So, what did I say? 5. It needs to be on layer 5. The stream keeps crashing. Hang on a second. Okay, they're working now. Awesome. Okay, let's check out YouTube. I monitor on Twitch most of the time just because it's a little bit easier to look at. And I can, well, I don't know. It's just what I normally monitor the streams on. Let's go to, it looked fine there. Let's go to YouTube. Maybe it's a YouTube related thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a you related thing. It looks okay to me. I am dropping a fair number of frames. I have been having issues with that and I don't know why. I've got like 2,000 drop frames. So that could be an issue. That's normally just a stuttering in the video though. So I don't know what kind of problems you might be having, boob. Okay, so we've got the enemy. Right, so there was going to be, I was going to make an aesthetic change, which was that the background was going to be white and the player would just be like white with the black outline, and then the enemies would be inverted. So internally they'd be black with a white outline. I'm very limited with the number of colors that I can use. And so like, I think it would be cooler because the premise that I'm going to go with is antivirus. Because this is a UI, so I should be able to like work with that, maybe. We'll see. The world, I guess, I've got this noise here. We don't need that. Sprite 2D. We'll just replace that with a empty texture 2D, placeholder texture 2D. What does that look like? I don't like its color. Why does it look like that? Modulate. Oh, it just goes to this horrible color that I see. Just reminds me of Blender. Okay, not that. How about a gradient texture that's just white? Why is it so big now? Dude, I don't understand 2D. I have so many issues with it. Oh, its position is all messed up. Its scale is all messed up. What is going on with this thing? Offset's all messed up. The textures, whatever. My mouse is broken. It's been driving me crazy. I thought it was out of batteries, but I think it's like literally the left click. And the texture, the gradient, this can just be white. That's fine, that works. And then we can just make it bigger than the scene. And none will be the wiser. Okay, so how can we invert the colors of the enemy? I actually am not 100% sure. It's like multiple pieces. I'm sure I could do it with a shader. I'm hoping I can just do it with a visibility modulate. But at the very least, see, because if I just drag this down, it's just going to be all black, right? Which is, I don't want that. That's bad. I need it to be like more interesting than that. So we are going to, I don't know, do something with the material, I guess. Texture, filter, repeat, ordering. Could you do a small jam with this idea, making a game jam? I am doing a jam, technically, because I'm doing a jam with some other game developers. So yeah, we could do a public one, I guess. We could make one. Canvas material after this. Mix. So we put a material on it. I don't know how to work with 2D. Every jam is always in 2D, and I always just work in 3D now. So I'm like, I don't know what the heck to do. Subtract, multiply, add, mix. Okay. Unshaded, normal. How do I edit the shader? New shader material? That's like a regular shader. Oh, and then I can just like create a shader and then write a shader code. Write shader code is the answer. Okay. Well, we can do that because I don't know shaders that well after I said I was the best. But I do have a resource that can save me. Godot shader. Godot shaders. Which is like literally the best shader resource that you can get. What if I just type like invert? Invert color. Cool. 4.x, great. There's a million invert colors because it's probably really easy if you know how to do shaders, but I don't. So let's just select everything, delete, and place this in. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, that's not exactly what I was going for. Where's the collision shape? Hide that. You know, not exact. Oh, I know it. Pearl Potter, welcome to the stream. How are you? I understand what this is supposed to do now. So, okay, so wait, we're good. We're gonna just need to, that's fine. That shader can exist. Enemy 1G shader. I might rename it, file, save file as. Is there a way to invert Y sort in Godot? Yeah, I think there's just a button, right? I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm not a 2D guy normally. Enemy 1 shader. Invert color shader? Invert color shader. I normally work in 3D, but for like most game jams, you know, like this one's just the UI pack. So I figure it's like, I could do it in 2D. Last game jam that I did, they gave us a 2D game pack as 2D art pack as well, and I made a 3D game. I was like, nah, fuck, you know, like I don't want to do 2D. I'll do it all in 3D, and it worked really well for that. But for this particular pack, it's very limited. You know, there wasn't a lot that I could do, so we're working in 2D, and I need a sprite to cover all of these. A sprite. Drag him up to the top, and I guess image texture, it could be blank, right? Can it be blank? It probably doesn't. It probably needs to be something. It was YouTube app on my phone playing up. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it happens, you know. So we do that, and we just need to put the material on it. New shader material. And then we go to enemy and the invert color shader. And if I can get my mouse to play, I'm really going to replace it. Drag that on top. Now, I think this does actually need to have like an image on it. So I don't know what to, I think I could just do a placeholder. You know what I'm saying? Or I could just put a gradient over it. Like, or even noise texture. Whoa, it's too big. Okay, let's just... it's so annoying. Have I got a square? I just need a square. What UI pack? Cursor pack. This is it. This is all I've got. We are sort of in a bit of a tricky situation. So I'm gonna make a... What am I making? Bullet hell, where we're going to play as... I was going to use this, but I ended up using, I think this. And we're going to be antivirus. And so I need to make shapes out of these to make them look like viruses. And it's just going to be like... It's a top-down shooter. Realistically, at the end of the day. And yeah, we'll just roll with it. See what we can come up with. We've got a pretty good framework already. We're working with the like keeping everything sort of componenterized. I don't know what the word is. So you know, everything works pretty well. It can shoot at me, I can shoot at it. I just need to create some enemies that are interesting. Not like this. This is boring and I just died. I don't have a death state either. Yeah, I think it should be good. It should be good. It just depends on my ability to create enemies and different things. And I want to create like maybe abilities if I get time. I'm only meant to spend 15 hours on it. And I've done 2.5 already. I'm going to do maybe 4 tonight. I don't know. It depends. I start a little earlier. Normally I start at 7. So yeah, we'll see. I wanted to start at 6, but I got distracted. Okay, so we're trying to do an invert shader and I cannot get it to work. I know what I need, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do to get it. So let's just drag this texture over the top. Why is it so big? Okay, it does invert everything, but like everything else. I don't like this shader, man. I don't. What is going on? Existing texture, screen UV. I don't like this. Let's look for another one. Simple color invert area. Nah, that's not what I want, man. I just want to invert the color. Oh, is it really that simple? I'm so dumb. By subtracting the original color by 1. It do be like that sometimes. I guess that's a part of learning, isn't it? Okay, let's go to enemy. We want invert color shader. Material, shader material, new shader. Oh, no, not new. We got one already, drag it over. Hey, there we go. That's not bad. I guess it's good enough for us to distinguish between like the players and the enemies. It's like, we just need a way that they can look different. Material, new shader material. I should save the material so it's easier for me to apply it to enemies. So if I come back up here to this one, I can go and save as. Invert color, material. And I think I'm supposed to use lowercase here if I'm trying to get better at this. Material. Invert color. Okay. And what else is happening? The music stopped for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's just quiet. I think I'll just skip it. There we go. Okay, so we're inverting. And now we've got the material so that we can just drag and drop onto these guys. Right. There we go. One and done. Ah. Done that one already, mate. Transform, no. Material. Okay. And so now, well, with the white background, it's not quite great. So maybe we need to work on the color of the background so that it's not white. But yeah, we get the idea. World. Yeah, let's just make it like a little bit yellowy. You know what I'm saying? So that it's like, I'll work on this later. I'm just sort of putting the pieces in place so that it looks kind of like an old computer. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Like Apple II era, maybe? We'll see. It's still not that readable, but we'll work on that. Maybe we can modulate these a little bit so that they look a little different. Okay, so we've done that. I need to work on a win and a lose state just early, get that out of the way. You know what I'm saying? So let's create a new scene and we'll make it a UI interface. And I think I don't have I don't have like text. So why don't we go do something fun with this? So let's just call this like game over, right? As a scene. And I want to look at these tiles. Do we have like an X? Yeah, we do. Right, okay, cool. That's exactly what I was thinking. So we get one of these and we make it really big. Wonder if there's a skull. Probably not. That would be weird. Let's have a look at the whole pack. Not really, right? There's nothing like that. So I guess we'll just go with the big X to communicate that you died. Yeah, we'll work on more effects later. We'll just go with that for now. And why is it a sprite? Delete. It should be a... What are they called? A texture. Rect. That will work better. I'll stick it in the center, and then for the texture, I'll make it this. So that way we've got... Oh, goodness. Mouse not working. I also have like the cancel button as well. I can use that. We're going to try and like make it custom minimum size. Let's go. My number pad not working either. What's going on? 500 is too much. What's the size of my canvas? I've forgotten already. 320 by 180. So it's going to at least have to be 180. So let's just make it 180 by 180. Probably a bit much, eh? Shave a bit off the top and the sides. 120 by 120. Okay. As a failure. I guess I should check with the guys. I assume that I'm allowed to use music and text from other sources, or just like music from other sources, because like you could communicate this pretty easy. We've got the text direct, and then we're just going to have two buttons below it, you know. That would work. And then we should do like a center, just do custom anchor points, and the top one make it like 0.1, so it just sits off the top a little bit. And then below that we got like a texture button, right? Two of these. And I guess we'll just put these down here, and this one can put it down there also. Actually, let's put them in a H box, right? And then put that at the bottom, and then put these inside the H box. If I can get my mouse to drag them in. Okay, and then for these, do we have like a rotating arrow? We kind of have this. It's like a horseshoe. This kind of looks like an exit, so we can use this for the quit. Where's the button texture? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the quit. And then what do we want for the retry? What have we got? These ones are nothing? What are they? Just blanks. I could put two of these together. How is there no like retry button? Oh, here we go. Perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. Scale, keep aspect. Keep aspect, centered. Okay, so can we make these a little bit bigger? Because the big X is probably blowing things out of proportion. I think if I... this. Okay, no, apparently not. Alignment, center. Theme, overrides, localization. Aspect center, okay. I guess I'm just gonna have to Ah, surely I can make them bigger. I never know how to do this. Custom minimum size. Jeez, you don't touch this stuff for like ages and then you just forget. Transform. Layout direction, layout mode, anchored, left to right based on locale. I feel like there's a button that says like, make them big. Thing. Bit of separation wouldn't go astray. I've forgotten what it's called. Alignment center. There's like a fill, right? There's a button that makes them as big as the actual anchor. Whoa. Because right now they're not doing that and it's kind of annoying me. I guess it wouldn't work because they're still like small, so I might just need to scale them out in a separate piece of software. Like it is what it is kind of thing. We'll work on that later. Let's move on. Let's just make them like this far apart. And so we've got the retry button. And the exit button. And that'll just quit game. I don't see any reason to like... Or maybe we can get back to a main menu. Because it'll be in browser. So yeah, let's go back to a main menu. Let's add a script to this. I haven't even saved this scene. So let's save this scene. I don't have a folder for menus yet. Menus, game over scene. Yeah, that's fine. Got a follower, Dragon of the West 412. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. How you doing? Let me just ban this FiberTel 7 thing out. And Pearl Potter, I missed your. Hello. Is there any way to invert Y? Oh, I did answer that question though. Nice. Okay. So we're going to exit button, a retry button, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We need to add a script to this. I wanted to create, do I want to create a folder for every single different menu type? Nah, let's just dump them all in one folder. It's a game jam after all. Okay, so we don't need ready, we don't need process, but we do need to decide what to do for the ready button and the other thing, the quit button. So I need to share my joy with someone. I'm a Java programmer. I just found out they updated the switch statement a few years ago. I never knew about it because no one uses that version of Java. I mean, I guess it'd be like that. I mean, I can't even picture what that's like. You've just been slaving away at a particular version of Java, and then all of a sudden you find out that there's improvements to be made, which is pretty cool. So hopefully that'll improve your workflow somewhat. Okay. Retry is easy. So we're going to get tree and we're just going to reload current scene. Right, that's really straightforward. And then button pressed for exit. Well, we don't know what the scene is yet, so we'll just pass on this. Eventually we'll add one. I guess we can add one now. Main menu. Right, generally what I like to do is I do like a H box and then, sorry, a V box. And we put all our stuff in that and we just organize it however. So for now, like this can just run down the side and we can add like a bunch of buttons to like start the game, end the game, all that kind of stuff. So texture buttons. Yeah, we don't even need like a HBox because we're literally not using text. So I guess that's how it's going to be, you know? Okay, so well, we can use the same symbol that we did for game over, right? Like this button here for the exit. Be faster if I know the tile. What is it? It's doesn't say. Tile 0036. There we go. Got it. Nice. Okay. Texture button, textures. Normal, we drop that in. Easy peasy. Alright, so what is going to be some of our other buttons? We'll just, well, duplicate this a couple of times. This will obviously be exit. I guess we'll have like options as well. At some point we'll have options. And then play. Endless gaming. See ya. All right. Okay, let's have a look through. I suspect there will be a spanner of some kind. There was a bunch of tools before. Where are you? I got like a sword, a shovel, a hammer, and an axe, but no spanner. There's one. Awesome. So for the options, the texture will be the spanner. And then for play, I think I'm going to make it the sword, but I don't know. Let's have a look. What else have we got? I think it kind of has to be the sword, right? Like that's got to be it. I didn't see anything else that would be appropriate. I suppose we could use this. I suppose. But it's a boot. Let's go with that. Of course. Come on, mouse. I feel like it's pretty funny because like 2 years ago was when I was, not 2 years, but 1 year ago, I was almost finished with the first person shooter tutorial and my mouse was being like shitty and I replaced it. And here we are 12 months later. This one's kind of been shitty. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to replace it. Okay, let's get this off the wall a bit. Layout. Custom. Anchor point. Left, 0.2. Okay, that's a bit much. Oh wow, the undo didn't do what I wanted it to do. That's weird. Anyway, okay, so we can just start with that. that's our screen, like a text direct. Behind it, of like a canvas, a gradient texture, right? We'll do like that same yellow color. And I'll work out the rest later. Where is it? Such a horrible color. Let's make it a little bit darker. That works. It's like paper. No, that doesn't look like paper at all. What are you saying? And the original color does, but yeah, we'll workshop that. Hopefully I'll have time for it. It'd be pretty funny if I don't. It covers everything up because it's on, make that lower. Okay. Main menu, save. Okay, so this is the main menu scene. So now game over. When you exit press, we're not going to do anything fancy here because it's just a simple game. So we're going to go with get tree and then load. No, what is it? Change scenes to file. A change scene to pack never seems to work for me. So, or it hasn't the last time I used it. So we use menus, main menu. Right, so when you click that button when you die. Okay, so, oh, that felt loud. That feels loud. I suppose the music's already way down, so it's probably okay. Yeah, so it's loud for me though. Let's just turn that down. Okay. So then the main menu, we're gonna add a script here for the main menu. And right now we really just have two buttons that we need to worry about. The exit button, which is going to be pretty straightforward. I actually don't think it'll do much because it's going to be a browser game. So, yep, we'll just we'll add it there just in case it's not. But get tree quit, right? You have to reload the page, and then the play. We can just delete this. And the play has a pressed, and we'll connect that to the script, and we will load up the level. Load change scene to file, and we'll just make this one world. I don't know if I'm going to make it like multiple level based or like if I'm gonna do like just a single level that progressively gets like bigger and harder or whatever. I don't know, like, but yeah, we'll roll with that. And then in the project settings, we'll come up to a run, and we'll change it from world to, we'll go back to menus and main menu, and then close. And now when we run the game, we just get this, but then we'll click that, and we're here, and we can fight against this guy. He kills you in 2 shots, but we still don't have like the game over. So we can come back to the world, and we can add a canvas layer for this. And right now, I think that just deletes the character, which is pretty funny, which is fine if we're just going to reload the current scene. Like if we're just going to replay from the start, which is what you do with most small games like this. You don't have any save progress because there's not much progress to save. So we'll add a scene. Actually, we need to find the game over scene. And we can just add this in. Obviously it needs to be hidden. We don't have any scripts to show it, so I don't know what's going to control it. We'll probably emit a signal. So we can do, we can create a function called, actually, I don't know. We don't really need a function. It's pretty simple. So on the character, we do have a signal for when you die. On health expired, key free, right? We just delete the character, but we can also create a signal called game over, right? I think this is supposed to be camel case. And then we can emit that game over.emit. We don't have a score or anything like that yet, so we could just emit that. So we can emit that to the UI, and then in the UI we have on character game over. We can just show this, right? Have I considered using C#? No, and the reason is pretty simple, is because I don't know C# that well. I know, like, I have done a fair bit of C#, but because it was mostly in the context of Unity, I really, like, I don't know, it's not like I would say that at this point I'm more of an expert in GDScript. So for me, like my journey in terms of like learning how to code, it definitely started with C#. I did like an online thing to make like mobile apps with I can't remember the name of the framework, and then I moved on from that and I got into game dev and I did like a Unity thing. I did like an Unreal thing. So I learned both C# and C++. I want to say loosely learned. And then I was messing around with GTK in Linux, and I was using C# to write GTK apps, but mostly just UI stuff. And then, yeah, like I came over to Godot, and like, I would say like at this stage in my coding experience, like I would not have said to people that I knew how to code. I'd be like, I kind of know how to code, you know, like I still didn't get it at that point. And then I started to learn how to use Godot, and that's when it really clicked for me. And so like realistically, I'm more of a GDScript expert than any other language at the moment. Like I know a bit of Python because I use it at work. I know a bit of JavaScript because I used it at work. But I don't, like, not frequently, you know, because I'm not actually a programmer by trade. So, you know, it's only when I've got a particular task, and because I do know how to code, I'll use code. If you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to use code. A lot of people will just use spreadsheets and stuff. But no better feeling when you write a little bit of Python to make your day job easier. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's literally just because I don't know it. I don't know it that well. And in fact, at this point now, because I've been so far away from C#, I feel like it's probably one of my least strongest. Like I feel more strong with, like, if you said you had to write something but don't use GDScript, I'm going to use Python. And if I can't use Python, I'll use JavaScript. How similar is it? To be honest, one of my hottest takes is I feel like JavaScript is closer, but that's only because you use like, and when I say that, I don't write web stuff, right? But like the whole declaration of variables feels kind of similar. You don't use var, you use let, but in Python you don't use anything. So like, but yeah, like, yeah, Pythonic, it's kind of like, it's an interpreted language. So like, if you ask me, I feel like a lot of interpreted languages kind of behave the same. Yeah, sure, like some of them have like curly brackets or whatever, but like at the end of the day, interpreted language is interpreted. So you sort of like, you get the freedom of having variables that can be reassigned and all that kind of stuff. I find some work, C# filed after game dev experience. Yeah, I mean, maybe, like, maybe. I feel like most places probably just care that you can code. I don't know. Maybe it matters. I don't work in the field, so I can't say. Like knowing how to achieve or solve a problem with code is probably the most important thing, right? Language is just language. Like at this point, I would say like, yeah, just give me like a day or two. I'll figure it out, you know? Because like you already know the fundamentals. So you just need to like Google, like how do I do a dictionary in JavaScript? How do I do a dictionary in C#? Like, does it even exist? What if it doesn't? Like, what's the thing that people do, right? They just do nested arrays or something like that. I don't know. But like, you know, it's all about problem solving and being able to do that. So once you got that down. Okay, so we've got the game over. We're going to show it on game over. And then, yeah, I guess that'll be fine. I'll add a ready here. So just in case I ever forget to like make it hidden, I'll hide it on ready. I think that's good enough, right? Like, let's play and then just die. And then we can replay, right? And then we die and then we can exit, and it'll take us back here and then we can exit. Good enough for what I mean, obviously we've got to work on the art, but like, you know, enough to keep us moving. We have like a little bit of a loop. You know what I'm saying? I really got to fix the levels of all this music. Okay, So now then, the question really turns to enemies and player abilities, because I feel like one of the top-down fundamentals is like, or at least bullet hell's fundamentals is like getting cooler stuff to shoot, right? Like that is the key thing. I did create a little bit of like an ability to change the bullet, right? That stuff happening. So let's experiment a bit with that, because that's sort of like a core gameplay element. So start with the player, and it should just flow through to the enemies. Basically, we've got a weapon manager node here, and it holds a bullet, which is a pack scene. So it could be anything, right? Like you can just change this, and what happens is when you press the shoot button, we spawn a bullet, right? And what do we do with the bullet? It just goes, right? Like it just goes. They're not physics related, so we do have to code them. If I open the scene for the bullet, it literally just, it has a speed variable, it does damage, this is a class, and when it spawns, it goes in a direction. Now, we should probably change this, because I want to do one that shoots 3 in multiple directions, because that's like kind of like bullet hell. I'm trying to think like of a really, what I'm trying to create, like SNES style, not SNES, sorry, Sega generation style bullet hell. But yeah, like I'm thinking like a triangle. I hold up the camera, it's gonna go like this in this direction, 3 bullets. So this currently is just going Y, and we just need to give it a vector 2 so that we can define that. And then I guess we might need to create like a subclass with multiple bullets. I don't know, like, because right now this is just a single bullet, right? And so we're moving the entire thing. But if it was 3, it really makes sense for it to be 3 single bullets. So how would that be defined? Now, how I've done this in the past is I've like decentralized it. I've got an object that spawns more objects. So when you shoot, you spawn the object, and that object spawns bullets. Why did you abandon Linux? Well, it wasn't, I still use Linux. I was on Linux this morning. But for the stream, it was just a little bit easier. Obviously, OBS is open source and it's available on Linux, but realistically, some of the plugins that I wanted to use, so like, for example, my ability to switch scenes, it's too hard to get working on Linux. And so it was just over, and here's the thing, like, it's easier for me to install Windows than it is for me to tinker around with a flat pack and get all these plugins working and spend like an evening, maybe even multiple days. You know what, I tried a couple of times to figure out how to install the mod into the flat pack, and nothing really worked. So just do it on Windows, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to use Linux for everything, especially if it's just more widely supported. And so like I got a bunch of things now that I wouldn't be able to have. For example, the chat. If we were on Linux right now, because I have experimented with this the other day, it would look like this. And then it would look, we'd move this, and then I'd bring back the camera, which I think is like this, right? Actually, this has a chat in it. So Ugreen capture, display capture. Why does it look like that? Weird, eh? Okay, now it's like, wait, go back. So it just wouldn't look as good because you can't have browser sources in the Arch repo. It would just look like this, which is fine, right? Like that works. Move this in a bit. This is what it look like on Linux right now. I think it's because I clicked them. Why are they colored like that? I don't know. It just is. So yeah, like this would work. It's acceptable, but this looks cooler. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that deep. I still use Linux. I'm thinking about, to be entirely fair to your question, I am thinking about just switching back. Because like, Linux is just nicer in terms of like a user experience. Like I go back there on the regular because it's like my personal PC, and I'm just like, it's kind of nice, you know, could just stay here. I also wanted to play, there was a game I wanted to play on stream, which I never ended up doing, which is another reason I was like, I'm going to install Windows, I can stream from that, and I'll be able to play this game. And then it was like, I think I did one stream, I played Quake. You can get that running, Quake 2, you can get it running on Linux, it's just a couple of extra steps. And so I was like, I can do both. You know, you look for reasons to switch to justify it. But yeah, it's Linux is just nicer. I'll tell you what, when Windows 10 gets made obsolete and they force you to move to Windows 11, I'm never going back, man. That's just like, Windows 11 kind of sucks. It looks good, but like just all the advertising and stuff, like I use my wife's laptop and it's like, man, there's like things on the side, I don't know, it's just not. They're promoting shit. Okay, we gotta focus. We gotta add a direction. Right, this is a vector 2. It can be nothing for now. So maybe I need to recreate some of the stuff they do for FPSs, because like, this is very basic, and at the end of the day, I'm not going to be able to shoot multiple bullets at once with this. But if I create a sub class, so I've got bullet, I can also have like, I normally call it a projectile. So you loaded the projectile, and the projectile can be anything. So it could be this bullet. I could try that. And I should be able to get like a more diverse set of options. I can shoot multiples. I can shoot all sorts of different things. I'll do that. Because then I'm just, the weapon manager just loads up that thing, and that thing takes care of it. I am just like decentralizing the code at the end of the day. And then this can still just be itself. But instead of speed times delta, this needs to be global position equals, I guess, the direction times speed times delta. Is that working if I do that? And then this can be -1, right? Because it still moves up. Let's just try this for now. And then it's vector 2, no, sorry, direction times speed times delta. And then this just gets to change to that. And then theoretically, that should really just behave the same. It's going the wrong way because I'm subtracting it. Let's just make it an addition to make it simple, and then flip this. This is a lot smarter. Right, so they're fine. The boss's bullets are messed up. They use the same exact code. Enemy bullet. Let's open that scene up. And see, with this, I did the speed -100 to make it work. We can do that, but the direction can be +y. And that should be working now. Yay. Hey, Ozair, welcome to the stream. How are you? Okay, so we've restored functionality and given ourselves a little bit of extra. So now I think I'm going to create a projectile kind of class, a class that can spawn the bullets. That way I can have multiples. And I don't have to worry about it. The enemies can still just do single fire, I guess. Jeremy Beetle, welcome. Welcome, Jeremy. Cool. Let me just ponder for a bit. Yes. Yes, I think... What am I doing right now? Upper manager. Spawn bullet. This could be moved to the new class. Right? And then... Yes. Excuse me. I think this is the way. Right? So let's create a new scene. It's going to be a 2D scene. I guess it could just be a node, but it doesn't really matter. Projectile. And we'll create a new script. And where will we put this? We got damage, enemy. It's going to be used by the character, I think. I don't think I'm going to use it for the Leo Messi or Ronaldo. I mean, I don't really watch soccer. Sorry about that. Because I'm Australian. When I was a kid, I was really obsessed with Australian football. Like obsessed. Manically obsessed. But I quit. I used to play. I used to follow it. Fat Ronaldo. Yeah. I used to play it, but the thing with Australian football is it's really rough. And as you guys know, if you're a regular on the stream, you know that I'm not very tall. And size matters when you're playing a contact sport like that. And at the age of, I think I was 13. So at the next year up, they were like, we're going to allow like full contact rules because they have like limited rules for younger players. And they were like, yeah, next year, 14 or whatever, full rules. And I was like, the guys that I was playing with were getting so massive and I was just getting wrecked. And there are positions for smaller players in that sport. You don't have to be big to play Australian football, but it just felt like every single weekend I was just getting messed up, you know? And so I just didn't like it much anymore. And I quit. But I still loved watching it. But I don't know, like eventually I stopped. It's a good game though. Rugby is fun. I never played rugby. I've watched a couple of games, like I've been to a couple of live games. I've watched it on TV when there's like a big one going, but I've never like followed it. Like I followed AFL. Export var. Okay, what do I need? The projectile. Obviously we need the bullet. I want an array. Export var. Bullet. And this will be a bullet, right? And then points. Do I want multiple points? Like, how do I do this? Like, how do I say, so with the enemy, I've got like markers to mark out where to spawn the bullets. So I guess like, if I'm going to spawn this, I can have markers. I can have like spawn points. And this is going to be an array and it'll be of like marker 2Ds. Marker 2Ds are fine, right? Marker 2Ds. And I'll save this scene. Character. Bullets. I guess I'll save it under projectile. Yep. Yeah, when it comes to your country, it's not a want, it's a need. What, for sport? Or to like rugby. I think, yeah, I definitely, when I moved to Queensland, it was hard. Like people were like, you must like rugby. And they didn't like people who liked AFL because it's like from the South and they don't like that, I think. You know, they're like, oh, it's a Victorian sport. I don't know. They really hated it back in the day. They've softened on it now. We have our own team. So like, maybe they'll like it more. I don't know. They used to call it all sorts of names. It is crazy because they used to be like, oh, AFL is the soft person sport. This is getting really like, how many people actually know what AFL is? Queenslander, yeah. They used to, they'd be like, yeah, AFL's soft. But like, no, I mean World Cup. Yeah. World Cup Rugby. It's pretty cool, actually. Class name. It's a projectile. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going to do, Jeremy. We are going to have a bunch of points in this scene here. So we're going to zoom in. It's going to be really kind of hard to visualize. It might take a little bit of testing, but we're going to get a bunch of markers and we're going to set their positions, right? So maybe it's going to be like this, and then we'll duplicate this, and we'll do this. And we'll duplicate this, and we'll do this, and I might make them all like... I suppose I could just get children. It's probably going to be better if I just get children, right? 6 is too far apart. I think it, like, legitimately, it's a small scene. So, like, let's just go -2, 2, and then marker. How far up do we want it? -2, I guess. It's fine. And we can say, like, at these positions, spawn bullets and send them in the direction. And maybe we can say, like, based on its distance from the origin point and to where it is, that's the direction it needs to go in, or something like that. We can cheat that. Might not be working for everything, but we can try that. Let's create a new node 2D. And we'll just call this spawn points. And we'll put all these markers in it. And we'll just, rather than this be that, we'll just go to node 2D, right? And so now we can assign the bullet. Oh, that needs to be a pack scene, I guess. Yes, pack scene. So we can assign the pack scene. My mouse wants to work. Character bullets, bullet. And then we can assign the spawn points. Right. And then we can have a function called, I guess, I'm trying to think, ready. We could do it on the ready. We don't really need too much information because the damage is controlled by the bullet. So the speed, the damage, the fire rate, it's all in the bullet. So the projectile really just needs to like spawn them in and send them on their way. That's basically it. So it needs to set the direction of the bullet, essentially. The speed, everything else is done. It's not a rigid body, so it's like pretty easy. So we just need a function called load bullets, I guess. And I don't think it needs to take anything. What's the project? We are doing the UI, making a game using only a UI pack. So we're using this. It's all we can use to make this game. And I'm doing it with a couple of other Godot YouTubers. So GWiz, Stay at Home Dev is in the chat. And then Quebble, Bacon, somebody. I forget all their names. Hang on a second. So we got Gambit, Quebble, GWiz. This guy's screen name is different from his actual YouTube channel. What's the progress? We're getting there. We've got like a minimal viable product. Okay, so what we're doing is a bullet hell. This is our main menu, which is really basic. And we are just, we can spawn bullets, we can shoot them, and there's an enemy there. I got to work on his. He's not balanced at the moment. I died. Yeah. And so that's basically it right now. And so I'm just trying to work a way to like create a more dynamic bullet system so that we can get different bullets spawning and get them, you know, coming in and doing different things so that as you progress, you can pick up different things. Like you can fire multiple bullets. I'm trying to think of like an example. Yoink. I'm going to pull this over here because I'm not exactly sure what. So you got bullet hell. Yeah, I guess this is kind of close to what I'm trying to achieve, but obviously with a much more limited visuals. It'll be like this. You're just shooting. Stage 1 boss. Deep purple. I guess you're underground. I was always so fascinated by these games when I was a kid. I guess it's probably the visuals. You know? It's just so much. Like, how do you even know what's going on? Like, seriously. I missed the stage. Stage 2 clear. But yeah, so we can get like different bullets going in different directions and all that kind of stuff. That's basically what I'm going to try to make. Like, what the heck is going on here? Life Force is so good. Yeah, I should probably check one of these out on an emulator or something, just so I can get a better idea. Because like I'm going off what I've visually seen. The Space Chicken, not really. And I can't remember the name of one that I used to play on Xbox Live back in the day, but it was like a geometric kind of one. Oh, Goose Fat's in the chat. What's going on? Haven't seen you in a bit, man. How you been? Geometry Wars? Is that what it was called? This is what I used to play. I played the shit out of this game back in the day. Well, I skipped it. Okay, just show gameplay, bro. Yeah, this. I played heaps of this, but it's not really the same thing. Same kind of principle, though. It's so pretty. It's school holidays? We got school students in the chat. Old Xbox Live, yeah. Yeah, that's, well, we've got Goosefat saying it's school holidays. I haven't been in school holidays in 15 years. Probably even longer, to be honest. What was I? I was 18 when I left school. And it's 2024. 16 years. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I haven't had school holidays in 16 years, Goosefat. Oh, I suppose when you go to university, you in Queensland. Yeah, cool. That means my drive to work will be much more slow. I mean, faster. It'll be way faster, my drive to work. 2.1k points. I was thinking, how do I do text-to-speech in Twitch? I need to like Google it so that I can make a reward. I don't even know. I have to work it out. Do some work on that. Anyway, let's load some bullets. All right, so not the enemy, but the player. The weapon manager has a function called spawn bullet. And we want to realistically take everything here. TTS, yeah, I want to try and do some TTS on the channel to spice things up a bit. But I don't want to make it like expensive, because I know that like most people want you to pay for that, but like I don't want to make it too like, I don't know. I'll have to research how it normally works. New bullet. Bullet.instantiate. So we're going to do like projectile instantiate, and then the rest well, this, whoops, needs to be, well, some of this, okay, so some of it needs to be taken over, some of it doesn't. So let's just grab all of this and go to the projectile and paste it in. Obviously, we're going to get errors because we've got new bullet. This is fine. We're going to bullet.instantiate. And I guess I'm going to change this to load bullet. New bullet, top level, that's fine. New bullet position equals global position. That's fine too, because this is going to be spawned on the player. This we don't need anymore because I was just putting it like directly in front of the player, but now we have spawn points. So we probably need to pass in a point here, which is a vector 2, right? And so the new bullet global position is going to be the point, which will just be the global position of whatever we're doing. So that will be there, right? And then we add the child and we set the collision layer. That's fine. Now fire ready false is not a part of it, and auto fire is not a part of it either. That'll be controlled by the weapon manager. And okay, so now we've got it. We actually need to do a new thing, right? We need to set the direction, right? So how can we do that? We could probably put a function here of get direction point. We can calculate the direction, right? Get direction. And we can pass in a point, which is a vector 2. And it returns a vector 2, right? And I guess we'll just go var direction, var dir vector 2, return dir to satisfy the thing, satisfy the thing. I forget the words. I swear I don't have CTE. Okay, so direction, var direction, and that will just be the point minus the like global origin of the projectile. So what we can do is we can go dir var dir equals global position minus, we might go the wrong way, point normalized, I guess we'll say. Dot normalized, it doesn't need to be that fancy, and then we can just return that, right? We don't have to do anything else. I don't know, I'll leave it open. I thought it was going to be more complicated, but now that I think about it, that's really it. So we can say we add the child and we set the collision layer, and now the bullet, so the bullet dot direction equals get direction, and then we pass in the point. And yeah, I think the one directly in front, like we might need to invert it. I don't know, we'll work on this because it needs to go away from the player, and Y gets weird. So like with 2D, so we'll see. We'll just see how that behaves. Okay, then the other function we need, I'll just call it set projectile. And this will just be the function that the manager calls, and it would just go for I in spawn points dot get children, right? And then we will go load bullet, and it'll ask for a point, which will just be I dot global position. I guess it could just also be position, but whatever. It's fine. The math will still work out. So that should be all that we need right now. Let's just see how we go. So if we get set projectile, we'll go back to the player weapon manager. And so all of this, we don't need a bullet anymore. It needs to be a projectile. which is going to break a lot of stuff. Spawn bullet, spawn projectile. Right. Passes in the projectile. Okay. And then we spawn that. We're going to call it a new projectile. And it breaks everything. That's okay. So a lot of this stuff, obviously top level true, doesn't matter anymore. We don't need that to be top level. No, add child. We do want to add the child. Position doesn't matter at all. I can get my highlight to work. My mouse is really playing up today. So we'll add the child and then we'll set the collision layer. It doesn't matter either. Fire ready still does. And then auto fire, new bullet dot automatic. So there was a variable within the bullet which determined whether or not it was automatic. It's no longer like that. That's no longer the case. So do we need to create a weapon slot which holds the projectile and some information about it, like auto fire, right? Because now we can no longer get to that, because once we load the projectile, we still haven't loaded the actual scene. I guess we could go add child. We need to call the function new projectile. Right. It'll be happy, and the fire rate as well. So we probably need to return that information. So what we need to do is go new projectile dot set projectile, because this is no longer a bullet. This is actually a projectile, right? And so it has a function called set projectile. It should return something. So we can go var auto data. I guess we can go var data equals new projectile dot set projectile. That's going to be an array, and we can get that information back since it is held on the bullet. We'll just roll with that. Cannot return it. Oh, return set projectile doesn't return a value. I guess now that I think about it, does the bullet need to know that it's automatic, or does the projectile know that it's automatic fire? I guess they're all going to be automatic. I don't know that for sure. And the fire rate, right? Like, what do these need to be at this level, or do they need to be brought up to the level above? You know what I'm saying? Because it can just know its speed, and technically I suppose its damage can be set somewhere else as well. But I think we're going to excavate these. The issue that we're going to have is the enemy bullets are going to be a bit of an issue, but that's okay. Let's go back to the projectile and add these in, the fire rate and the automatic fire, since like that information can be just a part of the type of projectile that we're designing. So now that we've got that, we can go back to the player. In the weapon manager, set projectile does not need to exist. New projectile.automatic is there, and the fire rate as well, right? The fire rate and automatic. New bullet, that's the reason it's getting mad. And then this needs to be projectile. Spawn bullet, spawn projectile. I changed the name of it. Projectile. Can't see this because my screen's too small. Okay, cool. Okay, all right. So now that we've done that, we should be good to go. I think there are the enemy bullet might be a bit of a problem because we were doing fire rate and all that kind of stuff. So it's spawning. Yeah, it literally used the exact same principle here. It's funny because I just like, I just did the whole Marker 2 thing, Marker 2D thing here. So I guess I need to design a projectile for the enemy to spawn. Delete these two nodes. And the bullet points and the pack scene. So we'll just get rid of that. We can just call this projectile. Spawn bullet. What are we doing here? We probably don't need this, right? Let's just go to the print manager. It's literally the same code at the end of the day. What happened to the third person shooter? It's coming back, don't worry about that. We just taking a pause to do this collaboration. I published the alpha on GitHub. So the code's available for Patreons right now. And as I get closer to being done, it will become available to everybody. It's not really like a usable state. It's just like fun, I guess, to make it available early. New projectile. Add new projectile, fire ready equals false. Fire ready equals false. All right, so this is how I was controlling it. Reset fire, fire. I mean, I don't really need that, right? Doesn't matter. Auto fire, new projectile. But is it like a real project like zombies? You mean like the game that I was making with the zombies? I'm guessing that's what you mean by that. Auto fire, new projectile, automatic. What's wrong with this? Auto fire not declared. It doesn't matter. Yes. So I guess, I don't know, Azair, if you were following me before I started streaming, because like the thing that I was doing before that was I was making YouTube tutorials. Okay, awesome. Thank you, GooseFat. I appreciate that. The thing that I was sort of doing before I was streaming was making game dev tutorials, right? And so one of the things that I wanted to do, especially because like a part of the Patreon was that like you get access to all my assets and stuff, is like I have to kind of keep making those. And so like I know that I want to make a zombie related game at some point, but I don't have the necessary stuff like nailed down. And so like I was like, I don't know if that's going to be like interesting watching me like just test stuff. I think it's a good idea, but I do need to get back onto the like the YouTube and tutorial making and all that kind of stuff. So that is what we're doing. I'm almost done with the third person shooter, and I think I'm going to use it in that project when I get around to working on the game again. But for now, I'm just sort of trying to work on content for the YouTube channel so I can start posting videos again. I probably need to hire an editor to help me like create content because it is like really hard to do everything. What's going on here? New bullet not declared. Okay, that's fine. That's a new projectile. We also need to call the function new projectile dot set projectile, right? And then we can come back. This is a script, right? That's fine. Not 2D. And then we go to this scene and we go save scene as. And I go to the enemy and I say enemy projectile. Right? And I guess like literally like literally the position just changes, right? And they just had two. Delete the one in the center. Editing a bunch of vlogs after working all day does not sound fun. It's not. Like, I don't know, it's my least favorite thing about doing this kind of stuff. I really like, streaming is a good like medium because it's like, I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. We can just hang out and chat, and I can still do this, and we can talk about stuff. And like, you know, that's the best part of it. And originally I was like making shorts every single day, and that like got old really. I did that for like a month and a half, and that got old real quick. That sucked, but it did, like, channel growth was like the highest it had ever been when I was doing that. So like doing that kind of stuff is like, you need to do it. So I just need to find somebody that I can partner with, and we can like do that, so that they can work on that, and I can work on like actually making content when I'm live, and then like it just all seamlessly goes together. And then we can like couple that up with the actual tutorial videos that I'll have to do offline. So yeah, that's sort of what's in my head. Whether or not I actually achieve that, it's like the whole thing. It's not that serious, you know? It's just a hobby. Okay. So this is the enemy projectile, and okay, so Ozia, you asked with the Pixel Fox. So that's just like a deep cut of the first game that I made. So the first game that I ever made was a game. I'll see if I can find it. If I go to my, what is it like? You have to go to Chaff. Oh, there. If we go all the way back here, the fox in the shadow. Is this the first game that I made, or is it the second? No, it's the first one on the page. So this was a game I made back in 2021, I think. It takes ages to load. It's just a puzzle game. I don't know if there's music behind it. Just pause. Oh, well, I guess it... So I sort of had been working on like a pixel platformer before this game jam, and then when the game jam started, I sort of took all that art assets and I made this, and that was sort of the end of it. Jeez, it takes ages to load. I haven't updated this since, when did I get more information? Doesn't say. Status released. Oh, there is sound. I wonder if it's copyrighted. The fox and her shadow. So basically you have two characters, right? The shadow and you can switch between them, and only the fox can jump on the shadows, and then the yellow you can both jump on, and the goal is to get to like the little spirit thing. And so you just like play, and then you can go next, right? And then the twist was you can use each other to like you can jump on top of the shadow to get up to places. And that was the entire game. Yeah, I did get off to an early start. I got work to do, but then I'm distracted showing off the game that I made. So this is actually a pretty tough job. So I'm gonna put the other guy here. I think you can just make it. Yeah, you can. Apparently we're not touching it. There we go. And then yeah, it's like really simple, just a simple set of games. Levels, I guess you could call it. Go full screen. Oh no, that's going to cut off some of it. And then I introduced buttons. Like, okay, so this is actually this game kind of goes hard, eh? And then you get to that, and you can release this guy, and you go here. This did pretty well in the jam as well, and I can sort of understand why. It's pretty fun, like idea-wise. Well. It's a tough jump. But yeah, that's literally all it is. It doesn't really mean anything other than that. Oh man, I'm so bad. The jumping is not very good. If I had to criticize my code, it's very like twitchy, you fall very quickly. Can you push? Oh no, he can't jump there. It could have been more floaty. Would have been much easier to play. Oh yeah, you're supposed to do that. And then he can go over here to activate this. Oh, and I just walked off the edge. Anyway, you get the point. That's where it comes from. And so I just used it for everything. I should probably change it because it's not really like the vibe. You know what I'm saying? People might think it's something else. Yeah, it's not bad. I wanted to like build it out to be something more, but like, you know, didn't feel, I don't know. Like it's hard. Like pixel platformers are kind of a done, like they're very done to death. You know what I'm saying? I probably should have like persisted with it so that I could have like something on Steam already. But yeah, I just was like, nah, everyone does this. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so the bullet here needs to be the enemy bullet. How many people on average chatting on Twitch? That's a good question, man. I actually don't know. I think it's pretty low compared to YouTube. That doesn't look like the enemy bullet, but all right. It has a speed, damage, and direction. That's fine. Okay. I've been making a lot of code, and I guess it's going to work. We'll see. Probably won't. Nope, it crashes. Cannot call instantiate on a null value because it's not been set. 1 to 3 when I... Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's really funny with the whole thing with Twitch because like I feel like originally Twitch was going off when I first started streaming in May, and then it sort of like changed. Now YouTube is more dominant. 7 and 5 respectively in terms of viewers. But yeah. Projectile. It needs an enemy projectile. So we load that one up. Okay. Let's try that again. Direction. Invalid assignment of property key direction or value type vector 2 on a base object type of pack scene. Excuse me? New bullet. Dot direction. We're almost there. Couple of mistakes. It didn't even load that time. What the heck? Oh, it's killing itself. Okay, that's fine. The problem is now the layer. Because I moved this into the projectile, I probably need to pass that in as the layer. It's an int, right? And then we can load bullet and we can pass in the layer. And then the layer can be set here. Go down the line. Right. Happy days. And now, enemy projectile. No, we want to go to enemy, set projectile, and it's, I guess I should make it like an export variable, right? Target layer. I'm gonna get confused by that later. Make it equal to 5. Make it equal to 4. And then pass that in. And we'll do the same thing on the player. I could have made that also as a part of the projectile. I don't know, who cares? Go here and then move this to Yeah, I guess. I don't know. This is the wrong place for this. Weapon manager. Okay. Got any nice feature ideas for the game jam? I'll probably just do like abilities or something. I don't know, actually. It's kind of one of those things where the restrictions make me sometimes they make you think outside of the box, but then sometimes your idea is just your idea and it doesn't actually help you. And in this case, I don't know. I don't think I'm actually not calling set projectile here. So I don't know yet. I might need to think more. Watch Twitch, a certain game, integrated graphics, plus a certain game, integrated graphics, 130%. I don't know what you're saying, Goose. I know that you've got a potato PC because I've seen it in the Discord. So are you talking about your own PC and what you can play? Let's try this. Okay, so it works. Hang on, which way do I okay, my projectiles don't. No graphics card? Yikes. Yeah. I don't know how you live like that. Oh, it's not set. So hang on a second. You're forgetting to actually set my variables. Go to 2D. GPU 100%, 130%. Well, I mean, it's like it's really your CPU, right? I don't even know how it works with integrated graphics. Like they talk about a CPU, but isn't it just like a GPU, but it's like a section of your CPU. You know what I'm saying? Not even 100% certain. Character bullets projectile. All right. Let's do it. Okay, so mine go the wrong direction. Yeah, they're going in the opposite direction. So we just need to flip the positions of the, let's close some scenes. It's pretty funny. No graphics card. Yes, I think. Yeah, listen, I mean, it's been a long time since I remember learning about graphics cards. I was pretty young. I must have been like, actually, you know what? I wasn't that young. But then back then it was kind of like, not many people knew about computers, you know, like in 2007 when I got my first laptop and I thought like I could finally, I could play PC games. And I don't know if I bought Oblivion or if I pirated it. I'm honestly not too sure, but Oblivion was a game that I wanted to play because instead of getting an Xbox 360, I decided to get a Nintendo Wii and I couldn't play it and I wanted to. And I'm pretty sure like I couldn't get it to run because obviously back then, like integrated GPUs weren't really a thing. I don't even know how it worked, but basically I remember installing the game and saying like, no, you don't have a graphics card. And then that basically opened up my mind to the PC world because prior to that, like I hadn't really thought about it. You know, I had a laptop. Yeah, Resident Evil 4 on Wii was like pretty freaking good. I remember that. That and whatever the Zelda game was, as I played a lot of that. But yeah, like I think I really only got a laptop because I mean I was a real console player. I was a real console gamer. I feel like it was more normal back then, but then yeah, I had to get a laptop for high school and then the rest is history. Where am I with this? Oh, the directions of all the projectiles is wrong. These are on the wrong side. It works as intended though. And then the enemy projectile, OG Xbox and 360 till I got my laptop, then upgraded to a PC. Yeah, you get the laptop and you're like, holy shit, I could do so much with this. I think the big thing for me back then was like, Like I didn't have a lot of money, so the idea is like, well, if you get a PC, then you can just like pirate everything. You know what I'm saying? And like piracy on the consoles was, I mean, it was a lot easier back then, but it was still like kind of hard to do. I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like back then it was like the thing that people did, right? Like it was just what you did. Okay. He's shooting, I'm shooting in all sorts of directions. We are bullet helling it up. You know what I'm saying? Jailbreaking? Yeah, I mean, modding. You used to put a mod chip in your PC. These are like way too far apart. The question is now though, like, do we... Because now it's like automatically assumed now for these points for spawning the bullets that there's like some kind of offset. You know what I'm saying? So like you can't have a straight ahead. So I wonder if there's like some kind of override that I could put in where like I just tick a box and it'll do that. Otherwise it won't. PC power, yeah. So I guess you can go, we can add an export here. And we can say, what will we say? We'll say directionless, no direction, straight. That's kind of a weird name for a variable. 911 in AU calls 000 because of moves. I don't know, it's just always been like that. I mean, you would know. I don't know. I've never thought about it. Right. So if we take no direction, then direction is just going to be, so we can say, if no direction, what can we do? We can just do the, because we still need to determine if it's a vertical, it's a forward or backwards. So like what I'm doing right now is like based on where these are, you know? So we get the inverted direction. It's pretty funny because I think this is the enemy projectile and we just like, I just was like, oh, this is wrong. So I moved it to the other side, but realistically it was the math that's wrong. I'm so silly. Well, instead of global position minus point, we go point minus global position and it'll go in the direction that we expect it to. And then, no direction, what we can do is we can just make the x 0, right? If no direction, go back, get this out, if no direction, then dir dot x equals 0, right? And dir dot y will equal the absolute, or ABS. Is it ABS? Is it sine? I can't remember. Absolute is 1.2, negative. Okay, no, it's sine. I want sine. Not absolute. I always get them mixed up. Just -1 or +1. I don't really care. Like, because I'm just trying to get the dir dot y. Awesome. I guess I can go if no direction dir equals vector 2 and then brackets the x and then the y is sine dot dir y. That's a little bit. Eats Godot. Why would you want to eat Godot? Do you think it would taste good? That little blue head? Chop it up? Fry it on a barbecue, mate? You think it would taste good? Buy a plushie and try. I mean, what is Godot anyway? Like, it's a robot, isn't it? That's the symbol, it's a robot. So, like, no, I guess the answer is no, it wouldn't taste good. It wouldn't be edible. Okay. So we've got projectiles now. Yeah, chuck another Godot on the Barbie, mate. Now these are all flipped. They're flipped. We're gonna flip them. And then I don't know. This one, I'm saying, has direction, and then the enemy projectile is ticked as no direction, so it should go straight, and the player one should go like this. I see nothing spawning. Mine looks pretty good. Enemy projectile has no spawn points. That's why. What happened to them? Did I delete them? That's weird. I must have accidentally deleted them. Jackinator, welcome back. We are getting closer. I'm just working on a better way to modify the bullets. Because like obviously a big part of this game is being able to like have different kinds of enemies and different projectiles and like giving the player the ability to change them or get better. I don't know. But like, so right now I'm sort of modifying that a little bit. So now, okay, it kind of works. Kinda, it looks terrifying. The projectile spawn rate for this is way too high. Make it half a second. These are too far apart and too close to the object. Let's just do that. Okay, so I'm noticing that the position is not quite right. That's a snake boss? Yeah, it is. Because they're meant to be either that or these positions are like way too close, right? So what is this? 1, 3 and -1, 3. And if I go back to the enemy, the original points were like here and here. So the position of this is 15. Okay, so we're going to be way further apart. 24. So what? That's off the center point, right? $24. Feels way too far. What the heck? I guess what's 24 divided by 2? Yeah, 12. So they need to be 12, and I guess the other one would need to be -12. Yeah, okay. -12 and 24. Easy peasy. I guess that's not the best design when you need to like actually figure out where to 12 and 24. Where to put these? What am I even looking at? A bullet hell game. I promise it'll be good when I'm done. -12 and 24. We were just a little bit zoomed in for that. Let's run this again. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, okay, so he's back to shooting his old shenanigans, and now we can fire back at an angle. But yeah, we'll, it doesn't seem to have too many troubles spawning it. We don't have performance issues. Things look pretty good. What's the enemy called? It's a, well, okay, so it's going to be like antivirus since it's a UI and we're inside the computer. So I don't know what we can call this one. This is like the hourglass loading thingo, but it's just got like little arrows on the end to represent like a gun. I don't know. Bob. Its name is Bob. It's not sus. I don't know what you're talking about. No. Daconator. No, I can't say that out loud. Oh, I suppose. I don't know, actually. I don't think. Looks like a yo-yo. Yeah, I guess an hourglass on the side does look like a yo-yo, doesn't it? Why? I want to make this like -5. And I still feel like the direction is kind of insane. Like, how close do I need to make these to give them like just a little bit of an offset, but not a lot? Oh, that's pretty interesting. Search the loading symbol on computers. It'll blow your mind. Oh, it's I already know the answer to that one because it's what is it? It's a font, right? Like that's the whole thing. It's just a font. Oh, I died. Yes, because it does tons of damage to you. Okay, so we're kind of in. Now we can make more enemies, right? Like this enemy, he kind of does a lot of damage and his projectile fires way too quickly. So let's make it just a little bit slower. And just open the scene. How much damage does this want to do? I mean, it's big. It should do a lot of damage, but if it does a lot of damage, its fire rate should be lower. And we need to create a couple more enemies that like maybe have like a faster fire rate, but they do less damage. You know what I'm saying? And so let's go find enemy number 1. We're going to go scene, save scene as, and we'll make enemy number 2. And realistically, I need to change what it looks like. So let's go find some menus. No, we want the cursor pack. I mean, you can do a lot here, right? I saw something before. It was like the magnifying glass. So let's just like delete this. And rotate this 45 degrees. Thor Pirate Software said Throbber on YouTube and Twitch. Oh, yeah, because that's the name of it, right? It's a Throbber. Goodness. Scene, save scene is. We're going to have like a lot of these. I'm going to need to create a projectile folder. Slow, strong, fast, weak, slow, weak, fast, strong. Yeah, all the different kind of combos. Projectile folder, and then enemy projectile 2. I probably need to make them more descriptive at some point. This will just be a single file. And I guess the X position can be 0, the Y 24. I feel like that's too far forward, but I don't know why I designed it like this, where I have to figure out where it should be. I guess if I move the sprite back, spawning it at 0 will always be correct. That seems like the way to go, right? Now, what could a third factor be? And you could have 9 enemies. Yeah. Looks like a turret. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I need to start, like, I need to think of a way. So, okay, so he spawns enemy projectile number 2. And the enemy projectile number 2, I guess we can have a faster fire rate for this, for sure. Like half a second, maybe. Automatic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure for an enemy, it's always automatic. And let's put him in the world. And just see how he behaves. And now I need to like also create a spawning system. Oh, I need to put the shader on it to invert the colors so that we know it's, I don't know, so that it's distinct from the bullets, because the bullets will be like the regular shade. Enemy, invert color material, sprite 2D. Oh, we can delete that. Material, invert color material. Okay, cool. Into the world. Enemy 2. Like this. Let's see what you look like. Oh. Oh, I forgot. I don't want it to spawn that. So we need to create a new kind of bullet too. Projectile. Scene. Save scene as. Enemy bullet small. Space invaders in your computer with viruses instead of aliens, and they fight back. Yeah, they'll move around eventually. I'm going for more of like a what is it? Like this kind of vibe, you know? But with like obviously the tool set that we've got. Oh, my camera's having a stroke? Oh, I can't tell. I missed it. It's an old GoPro. Enemy small. Okay, so let's just change this sprite because it is. What should we use for the small bullet? Let's have a look. What about if we made it like the eye, but we rotated it? You know what I'm saying? That's cool. That works. And then, hey, wait, what happened to the rotation? There we go. Damage, very small, right? Not 1, but 10. Let's go with 10 and have them move a bit faster than 100. Let's double it. UFO time. Yeah, it does kind of look like a UFO, doesn't it? Friendliness pellets? Yes. Oh, you know what it is? It's drop frames, maybe? I would say it's drop frames. I'm looking at it now. Or is it like low output? I don't know. I actually don't know what causes that. I need to look into it. Because it happens pretty frequently. Yeah, not sure. Not sure. Alright, we got this small. We should probably like scale it down a little bit too. And obviously the collision shape is, oh, what the heck? Oh, you know what it is? There's a rotation. Here, we can just delete this. We don't need that. 90, and then the collision shape, obviously that would be hella unfair. Let's just make it like this. In fact, maybe we'll make it even more generous. So you have to really be hit by it to be hit by it, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so now you got the enemy projectile 2 that will spawn the enemy bullet small. Let's have a look. Okay, that didn't work. Bizarre. I'm guessing I never set the projectile on the enemy. I am a fellow Australian. Okay. They have no direction, but they did spawn. What the heck? I don't know what that... Why would it not go forward? Oh, because the direction... Okay, hang on a second. It's a pretty funny bug. Enemy bullet. Not the enemy bullet, but enemy projectile too, because this marker is directly on the... it literally just needs to be like off that, and then I can say no direction in the projectile, and it will just go forward. Australian wall? What is this wall? Oh, you just draw a wall. Ah, I see. Okay. Bro's kind of scary, but I guess he's easy to kill. And I can scoop him all up. I don't know how much health I have. I should probably like work on that. I think putting something across the bottom to like show us that. So we can go with a H box and then we can just go a bottom strip, right? No, not a top strip, but bottom strip. Okay. And this can be like HUD, I guess. HUD. Can't spell. Can't spell today. And what do we want here? If I look at like the inspo, they've sort of got like the level, they've got the lives. I don't know if we'll have lives, and then they've got the life, which looks really cool in these old school games, doesn't it? Obviously, yeah, we actually have like a fair few Australians in the chat. This is the right time of day. You know what I'm saying? I guess if we're gonna follow the aesthetic, or follow, actually, what I should say is like follow the idea of only using the UI pack for everything, including like information. So there's not going to be any text because this is all I have to work with. I need to find something that can represent lives. Now there is an object that does do that, but I also have these, so I could create something like that, like that thing over before easily, right? I might need to create a control node that is what this is. You know what I'm saying? Because what about a texture progress bar? I believe what we do here, left to right, textures, unders, overs, progress. What does the unders look like? Value. I don't see nothing. Tint, under, over, progress. I think Twitch is a stroke, and is the stroke you and the chat having a stroke? No, it's not just, it's not that, it's my stream for sure. I think. Because I'm looking at YouTube and I can see the same thing. How does this work? I've only used this a handful of times. 9 patch strap, fill mode left to right. Yeah, that's what I want. Is it the, let's just go full rect. Let's just go crazy with it. Fill the entire screen. Okay, not quite right. Progress offset. I guess, I actually don't know. Let's just put these in for under and overs. Oh, okay. Right. But what's over? Under should just be a black, should just be gradient. Right. Progress offset, tint, under, over. I don't know, man. This is confusing me. Under, tint, black. over tint white, progress tint white, max value, page, step, layout. Visibility, material, texture, theme variation. Okay. Surely there's a way to min value, max value 100, step 1. So like one of these should represent the distance. Is there like, do I need to define like the layout? Custom minimum, like if I go minimum 100, and then it can't be any less than that. Layout direction inherited. I want to go transform. Why is it not? Sometimes you just, when you're in 2D world. CryEngine is a game engine? That is correct. That is factual and correct data. Texture progress bar. Works like it uses 3 textures instead of Godot's theme resource. It can be used to create horizontal, vertical, and radial progress bars. Mouse filter, size flag. Feels right to left. Feels top to bottom, clockwise. So you have like a bunch of choices here, but like left to right is what we're going for. Dude, I don't know. I don't know how this is supposed to work. I feel like every time I go to use them, because it's so infrequently, I come to it and it's changed. Progress? What we could do instead is we could just make a bunch of these and then like change the visibility of it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like that. Okay, I'm gonna have to Google it because I don't know. I hate Googling things on stream, but I don't know how to do this. Godot texture progress. Teach me Google. This is really old. Oh, something new. Creating a circular progress bar in Godot using the... I feel like this is it, right? Texture progress bar.
Ready to follow along?
That's exactly what we want. Thank you, Godot Academy. Have a thumbs up and a subscribe.
You'll find all the starter files and textures you need in the description below this video. Let's dive right in. We'll start by creating a new user interface scene. Name it health bar and save it in your UI folder. Add the texture progress bar node to the scene. This node enables us to create a progress bar using the image textures. Set the fill mode to clockwise. This will make the progress bar fill up radially rather than from left to right. In the range section, set the value to 33% so we can preview the final result in the editor. In the texture section, you can assign textures. The under texture forms the background of our progress bar. The progress texture serves as the progress indicator. And the over texture can be used to create a frame over the progress bar. Let's assign our textures. We have 2 textures, the progress bar circle and the progress bar frame. We will use the progress bar circle texture for both the background and the progress bar. Take a look at the tint section. Here you can modify the color of the texture. Let's turn our background texture to a semi-transparent black and make our progress texture green. Now for the finishing touch, let's assign the progress bar frame as our over texture. To make it easy to position our health bar in other scenes, let's move the texture progress bar node to center it at...
I see. Interesting. Okay, so in theory then, let's get rid of these. And if we use the sideways one, we can go this and like this. And then the progress can be that, and the over can be transparent, right? $50? Oh yeah, okay. That's pretty good. It's kind of small though. And the goose gun. All right, so happy days is not exactly what I was looking for, but the thing that I want to make would be really hard to make if I did it like sectionally. So this is fine. You know what I'm saying? It's good enough. It's small. 9 patch stretch? Stretch margins? That contact. How can I make it stretch out? I mean, that kind of works, but it needs to be like way thicker. It's a bit too skinny. So I guess I just need to do that. That's probably a bit too thick. Okay, let's just reset the control nodes. No. How do you do it? Whatever. It's in the center of this. It's probably too big. UI? Health bar. Okay, let's go back to the world, into the HUD. We want to put the health bar. I mean, it's not that bad. D-Master Gaming. I don't know what that means. Let's build a ladder. You could. It doesn't quite fit. You made too many. In the box, it's like you needed to push it just a little bit further for it to like come back over. All right. So, oh man, that's not quite right, but it's better. Probably too thick in terms of UI, but we'll go with that for now. And then we just need to order this a bit better. And what I wanted to do was essentially create like a frame. I don't know. I guess I could do like a theme. I wanted to just use the UI, but it's so thick. I don't know if it would work. Plus, it's kind of like a pain in the ass, so I might just cheat and use a theme. You know what I'm saying? Or theme constants, theme overrides, type variation. Whatever happened to like the box that you could? I don't know. I feel like they've changed the UI stuff on me and I've forgotten how to use it. Maybe I'm just having a moment. Either way. Can we center? This should be aligned center. And then the character, the player needs to be above this line. Its health bar is still way too thick, but we'll roll with it. Character. Transform. You can sit slightly above that. Okay, so let's just go back to this. Health. We're going to need a script. Health bar. Create. And... okay, so the texture has like a progress, right? So we give value. So it starts at 100, right? And that looks right. Yeah. So we can basically create a function called set health. And it takes like a health, which will be a float. Really simple stuff. Returns a void. And essentially we're going to need to get access to the texture progress bar here. Super simple. We can go texture progress bar dot value, set value, no signal. I guess we don't really need to do the signal, and then just be like health, right? Super easy. And now on the character, already has like a function for on health expired, but it also has health here. So the funny thing about this now is like, how can we get it health expired? We probably can just make a signal called update health and we just propagate it. So signal health changed. And we can just emit that signal. Now there's a couple of different ways we can get to the UI. We could create a singleton, or we could pass it up to the character and the character can connect to it. I'll probably create a singleton just because like generally with projects like this, like the complexity gets a little bit high and you sort of start having to deal with a lot of small little things that need to make it around the project, and so a singleton is just easier to deal with. So take damage. Okay, check health, right? So it just takes health, right? We can emit the signal here. Because we're calling it, if not check health, right? We're calling this function there. That's fine. And then so we need to create a singleton to connect these two up. Pyro TF2 or Pyro and Genshin Impact Pyro? I mean, I've never really played that much TF2, I'll be honest with you. Let's see, what did I play? If I played TF2, I probably would have played, I feel like I've only got like maybe a couple of hours. Let's see what it says on Steam. I feel like the guy with the big gun, the big heavy looking dude, the repairer, that's probably what I would have played. Team Fortress. Dude, it's not even in my Steam library. I got Team Fortress Classic in my Steam library, but I've never installed it. Probably got it from the orange box. I've never no, come on, I've played it. I've played Team Fortress 2. TF2? Is it just called something different in Steam? Weird, eh? Team Fortress 2 is ignored. I've ignored it in my library. Surely I've played it at some point. Can you tell how many hours you've played at this point? Oh, let's unignore it. I guess it was getting recommended to me a lot. As you might be able to tell. Oh no, we dropped. We're back. Okay, it doesn't, it's too big, it's fat, it doesn't show up in the chat box. We lost YouTube. Oh, goodness. I don't know what it is lately. We back? We're back. Okay. I feel like that's me dropping internet for like a split second. Reconnects me to Steam. That's why I know it's me. But yeah, okay. So we're focusing on creating a signal. Let's focus back in here. Okay, so we've got we need to create a singleton. So let's just, I guess, create another folder. I'm gonna have like a million folders. Singletons. I'm now live, guys. I'm live. Stream Elements wants you to know. So silly. Okay. New script. Inheritance node is fine. I guess what do we call this? Like signal connector. I actually don't know. Fine. Update health, right? Now, the health object is used by many things. So perhaps passing it to the character first is a good idea, because this is a class. We have got Project Wolf, I should say. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so the issue is this class is also used by the enemies. So if I'm emitting this signal, it's not just for the player. I should probably connect that to the character. Is probably a wiser idea. Health change. Character. And then the character can, like on the ready. Wait, I guess we need to go back to the singleton connector. And essentially, oh man, I forget how to do this. Cheat. How did I cheat? Just like spamming stuff in the chat. I'll put you on a timeout if you keep doing that. Okay. So we got the update health thing. I forget how to do this. I believe we just go update player health. We create a signal. And then we call it basically. And we pass in health. And then we update player health. It die. Yeah, my internet disconnected for like a split second. And I don't know what it is. It's been happening since we lost internet for like 5 hours the other day. I don't know why, but yeah, it is something that's happening. Update player health. Player health changed. Gotta go to class? Have a good day. Enjoy your class. Player health changed, player health changed, don't omit. Right. And then you pass in health. Okay, now we got the singleton. We can go to the character and we can, on health changed. Oh, are you getting fiber? Eventually. I'm still on copper. It sucks, man. Yeah, I think at the end, they said it in December that we're going to get it, which is nice. Nice if true. Health has no static type. It's a float, mate. 2.5 thousand points. You must hold a record. What's it called? I haven't loaded it yet, actually. Globals. Singleton. add singleton connector, signal connector. Yep. Signal connector dot player health changed. Update player health. Oh, I guess I could just go player health changed dot emit and then pass in health. I don't need a function for that. Okay. That's easy. And then on the health bar, we can receive that function. So we can go function ready signal connector dot player health changed dot connect dot set health. And happy days. So now when we take damage, we should receive that information. In the world, let's test it out. The character should, or you know what? The health, go back to the character. The health should, on the ready function, emit that. Ready, and then we just go health changed. Dot emit. We're not passing in the health, but we should. It'll be silly not to. And should probably pass that variable along. It needs to know what it is. It's a float. Okay. Fingers crossed, everything should work. It's not happy. Parameter health has no static type. Oh. That's weird. It didn't error out at the time. Yep, float. This should be a float. Great. There we go. I get chunked down by that. Pretty good. But I guess it can be 0. Oh well. It works. Min value, I guess we'll say 1. In Unity, you use Twitch chat in game. Can you on Godot? Yeah, you can. You have to do it yourself. There's a couple of people who have. So there's a Twitch user, a Spanish or Portuguese, I think it's Spanish lady. I forget her name. I am a follower of hers. Let me just check. Same category, similar following. Let's see if she's online. Rothia Tome. Yeah, she made a plugin that does do that. I haven't tested it out. Can I visit her page? Screen preview. Oh well, I guess I can just show you this. So shout out to Rothia Tome. Actually not 100% sure how to pronounce her name, but yeah, she made a plugin. I haven't tested it myself. In the asset library, if you search Twitch, this one here, very simple Twitch. Connect your Godot game to Twitch chat effortlessly. Log in with just a single line of code and read messages instantly. Includes a doc for Twitch developer setup and supports OIDC and provides a simple interface. So like the way I do it is like I cheat. It's just a visual trick. I try to use a similar font and it's just a PNG. But like I guess you could use this to display it you know, while you code, which would be good. Like, but at the end of the day, like the camera takes up a lot of room. So like, I don't want that to be blocking anything from the Godot. So like what I do is I have me over on the left-hand side. And what I I made the actual Godot like bigger so it's easier to see. It's kind of annoying because it's like it's less screen, and some of these you can't make any bigger than a certain size. It feels like it's gotten a little bit better. But yeah, you can do it. That's the answer. To answer your question, it is possible, thanks to her. Okay, so we have health, we have menus, we have enemies. Now we need to spawn enemies, I guess. And I guess we need to like look at how they move, because right now they're obviously static in the world. So like it's not particularly threatening. They just shoot and you can shoot, and because you have like a little bit of an angle, you can get them pretty easily, and you can shoot a lot. So it's pretty, it's not hard. We'll make you start with less bullets, but also I need to change the inputs. But yeah. We need something to make this a little bit more challenging. So how should the enemies move? I need to like check on how these games play. Like what's the most famous, the best bullet hell game? Yeah, I guess you guys can't see what I'm looking at now. It's kind of boring, isn't it? I'm trying to look for like a reference to see how these things should move around, because I'm not like much of a bullet hell guy myself, which is kind of silly. You probably shouldn't make a game that you don't play, but whatever. It is what it is. Visit.
We've compiled a list of the best bullet heaven, or as they are described on Steam, bullet hell from worst to best. So if you are looking to play something between activities, or you just want to relax after a stressful game, this list that we prepared might be perfect for you.
Undead to fend off a thrilling battle against hordes
Vampire
of night
survivors.
creatures and strive to survive.
None of them are like top down. What is this called when it's like top down?
Roguelike, confront the formation 1. In Bounty on Void, this thrilling
Equipment and
So that's like the entire thing now?
builds. This game is currently the fact that it is heavily priced for such a game.
meaning everything about
Everything is just Vampire Survivors. I want that. Like, what's this? What's this kind of game called? Does anyone know? Is it like flying? Fighting while flying enemy? Bullet Storm. Okay. Galaxica Arcade. I need all the chat. You can have all the chat. I don't think there's anyone else chatting right now. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm looking at, but this kind of looks like this could be. Does it even get more than this? This is really bad. I wouldn't make this. I guess this is kind of what I'm going for, where he gets like more bullets eventually. All chat. We could do it in waves. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess the question is, how am I going to define the movement if I do something like this? Dude, they're barely shooting at him. When does it get difficult? Oh my goodness. This is more like Space Invaders. But yeah, I guess we can do it in waves and we can have them move around. But like, I just need to think of a way that I can program that. It gets crazy at part 15. Yeah, it's part 14. Part 14. Spaceship Galaxy member. Oh my god. Bulletstorm VR. Bulletstorm. Oh, Bulletstorm is also a game, isn't it? Bullet Hell survival games. Bullets. Gothica Ultimate gameplay video. Thank you. Reddit to the rescue. Look at this shit. This is what we're talking about. Dude, how do you even know what's going on? Like, for real. Like, what is this? I guess I am trying to make something pretty similar to this, so I shouldn't really make so much fun of it. What the heck? The Tohu games? He's got max power. Look at all those flipping bullets coming out of him. And I guess the projectiles are these things here. Like if you look at this, you've got all these projectiles. I'm assuming, because they are coming close to the character, this circle here is the impact point that you need to like not let the these little bullets touch. And then everything else must just be like, I don't know, visual noise, because I can't tell what's going on half the time. Avoidable objects, okay. Sammy 42 almost kills them. You go, oh, you both in the thing. That's weird, bro. Don't do like, what are they called? Like little asterisks thingos. No biting. It's how I met one of my best friends. Us. Nah, we were kids. I've seen some. I haven't seen enough. I've seen some. Do you think you'll ever organize a jam? I mean, I'm not against the idea. It's probably not that much of a time sink. Maybe I feel like I don't have the audience for that. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, maybe. What was it? Tohu. I don't know what that is. I guess I just pump it into Google. Tohu bullet hell. Oh yeah, look at that.
You know what? What if every droplet of rain were a bullet that could kill you? Oh, come on. That's how they came up with the idea of bullet hell shooters. Hello and welcome to another Nihongo Gamer video. I mentioned making this video a little while back, but I wanted to use an arcade stick which actually has this character from this game, Toho Project. Now this is actually the 6th game in the series, but the previous games weren't actually on Windows, they were on the, what's it called, it's like the NEC PC 9800. And in fact, my friend really wanted me to play this, so I actually went to Akihabara. This was like 8 or 9 years ago. Truth be told, I actually bought this arcade stick a long time ago. You probably remember the video when I actually got
That's
this
so cool.
stick, but I just thought, if I'm going to buy a big arcade stick, I may as well get one that has a cool anime character on it. So let's get straight into it. It's the
Massive cult. Yeah, it seems like the kind of thing like people are really into it or they've never heard of it.
embodiment of Scarlet Devil. Again, it's the 6th game in the series, but apparently it's the first one that you can jump into natively on PC. Now, I tested the game earlier, but I haven't played it properly. It's all I know, really, is that you can shoot, you've got a bomb, and that you need to collect the little power-ups. You can choose this character or this character. I'm just going to go with the default character, and I'm assuming this is some kind of power-up that you can choose, but I'm just going to go default everything at the start. And we're in! Alright, so holding down the shoot button, well, something I did notice while testing it is that if you tap the shoot button once, it does shoot like a number of times for you. So you can actually just tap it once, and it will shoot out a little wave of these bullets, or you can hold down the button and it will just constantly shoot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and collect as many of these.
I need to start brainstorming different enemy types based on these, like these ones that explode into bullets.
Power-up cards as possible, because again, as we played some of the spin-off Toho Project games, I know that one of the major features in this game is that you can get the character to collect these power-ups automatically, but not in this game. Apparently you need to like get power level to max, and at the moment I'm like power level, what, it says 21 there in the corner, so I don't actually know.
Having to avoid things that you want to collect and things you want to avoid seems like a really good idea. Yeah, it's like that's the kind of thing you want to be able to like have them moving around as much as possible.
What exactly
like
is
grabbing
involved when that
things and trying
happens?
to
I think
avoid,
maybe I need to move
like,
to the top of
other
the screen to
projectiles and whatnot.
automatically collect stuff, but I haven't reached that point yet. In fact, are we on the boss? Is this the boss? That was the shortest level of all time. Or is this like a mid-boss?
The thing
Okay,
that I never grasped, like I was always fascinated by these, but like I never was able to get like the fine-tuned movement. I guess he's got the arcade stick, so it's easier, but like that kind of stuff, I was never that good at it.
That seemed like a mid-boss. Okay, so I'm going to collect more and more of these power-ups, and I assume, as you can see, the shots have actually evolved. I've actually got 3 spread shots here in the middle, and I've got, looks like it's homing in. Maybe that's what it was choosing at the beginning of the game. It was choosing whether you want those little blue lasers to, blue bullets, to home in on enemies even if you're not nearby them. So I'm just going to continue collecting as many of these things as possible. And one video I did check out on YouTube, I was just like, let's look up some Toho Project. And someone was saying that one of the things about Toho Project is that it's less about ultimate difficulty, and it's more about having like very specific situations, and they've got all these spell cards and people memorize all the patterns and all that. I think this was all done by the original creator, who goes by the name of Zun, but these characters are so well loved that people ended up making, you know, all of their own fan works, and I think pretty much 85% of Comiket is
Okay. Giving me some ideas of how I'm going to put this together. It's pretty challenging not having ever like really been a fan of these kind of games, but so something I need to think about probably for the next stream, because it seems like a pretty big thing to chunk off. Goose explodes. What are you doing back there, mate? That we've got all these different enemies, and we need to define how they move. And is it the same every time? Is it random? Do they follow a path? What do they do, you know? And obviously, roguelike with meta progression, yeah, you could do a lot with it. But we're sort of like, what have I got? I've got a deadline of next Saturday and a maximum of 15 hours, and I've spent 10, not 10, I've spent 5 already, so I've got 10 hours left. That is sort of where we're at. We're at that 10-hour stage now. So still a fair bit of time. If I'm doing like 3-hour streams, and I stream Wednesday and then Thursday and then Saturday, I mean, it'll be pretty close, right? 24 minutes felt longer. I don't know what you mean by that. That's like no time. That's about the time that you have for a jam. It's actually pretty generous considering. So yeah, I just gotta like think about how we can move things around, and then spawning them in is another question. What to spawn? I probably need to have like a wave calculator and have different enemies in the wave depending on like the wave that you're in. No stream. We're still live. We're good. So that's sort of the challenge. We've got to try and think about how to balance all that stuff. Different enemy types, how they move, and then what you get as a power up. Now the power up is just going to be the bullets. Now we've already laid the groundwork, right? So we've already got the ability to shoot multiple bullets at once, right? And we can add as many as we want. That's going to be really easy to do. We might change. We can add whatever we want. We could shoot the enemy's bullets if we wanted to. The stream is lagging. Yeah, we're dropping frames, eh? So that's already done. So now it's really just a matter about like trying to figure out how to make these guys move, how to improve the character. I think it's fine again. Yeah, it drops out for like a bit. Shitty internet. So power-ups. How the enemies move. And then, yeah. I don't know. Let's make another enemy type. Let's do one like the exploding thing. So we could do, what we do is, let's open up one of the enemies. Enemy number 2, we'll make a copy of it. Scene, because I'm going to need a bunch of different types of enemies to make it feel alive. We got this basic one, which is fine. Probably shoots a little bit too quick. I don't know. We'll see. They're going to be like, this will be the stock standard, right? Just shoots a single bullet in a straight line. Project. No, we want to go scene, save scene as enemy 3. And I guess I should probably start making them more descript. Does it? I've never played Undertale. Right, so let's find a new tile. I guess if it shoots stuff in a circle, we can make it a circle. What are we looking for? We could use this. And then put the, let's duplicate the tile. And then in the second one, grab this, drop it on, and just scale it. Dude, it looks so weird. Okay, it doesn't look that good. Let's use something else. Okay, that's fine. It's going to be the explodey one, so it kind of looks like it should explode. And then the bullet. So the bullet's small. Let's just save this scene. Music's not on, so it's kind of quiet. Scene, save scene as. I think an eye with a pupil that moves around would look cool. I don't know if I could do a moving eye with the tool set that I've got, but an eye, well, we're using that as a bullet, but we could use one as, we'll see what we can make. Because there is a circle within a circle. Yeah. Maybe we could make a boss that's a big eyeball. Because it's supposed to be like antivirus software. I can use, can I use Photoshop? I don't know if I should. I don't know if, I have to check the rule set to see if modifications allowed. Enemy bullet circle. I guess we'll call it. Well, actually, no. I don't. Undo add autoload? Oh, wait. I didn't mean to. What the heck? Signal connect to add. Okay. I didn't mean to save that differently. I needed to create an enemy projectile. Should be able to just use the hollow circle with a smaller dot in the middle. Yeah, I think you're right. We could do that. And then we can make a big one that comes down and it just like shoots bullets everywhere, like those ones that were doing it in a big circle. Like pairing it with an offset or something, yep. That would be a cool idea for a boss. Okay. Now, if we're going to make one that goes in all sorts of directions, we need to first turn off in the projectile, right? We want to have direction. It's not automatic, but I don't think that matters for enemies from memory. And then we can just like put these all around, right? And place them evenly. And what that'll do, it'll shoot them out in all sorts of directions. I think, what am I doing here? -5, 5? What's the position here? 9, 13. Let's just make it 10. Sorry, -10, -10. Let's just even it up a bit. And then so this can be 10, -10. And this will be 10, 10. And this will be 10, -10. So -10, 10. And then we can duplicate a few more. Transform. 0. This one is the exact opposite. So it's 10 there. Duplicate. And this will be 0. And then duplicate. And then this will be -10. Right, so now it's like a circle, right? Now, where's the enemy? What does the enemy look like? Enemy circle. Let's just bring it into the scene. Right, that looks pretty good. If we bring it in, it looks about right. So we can just delete that. Okay, so there's an enemy circle. If we go, it has a projectile. Let's put the enemy bullet circle. Where did that projectile go? Enemy projectile 2. I forgot to save it, which I'm so stupid. Tools, scene, save scene as enemy projectile circle. And now I have to recreate the enemy projectile. So we just go enemy projectile 2, we delete everything. And then just reset this to be 0, 0, and not quite 0. It's actually just like a little bit of negative, so 0.1. It doesn't really matter. It just needs to be a little bit, and it also is no direction, and it's automatic. Okie dokie. We're back in action. World. Let's bring in the circle enemy. Here. In theory, this thing should just go nuts and start shooting things everywhere. It crashed. Call method instantiated on a null value. Oh, so annoying. Character body. This is the enemy script. So one of the enemies doesn't have a projectile, which is this one, because I hadn't saved it yet. No, now it. So annoying. I'm tilting. All right, drop that in. Yep, it's doing it. Oh fuck, it's hurting me. Now, something that I'm noticing is that, well, I guess they're not all firing at the same rate. And we cleared the screen. We only lost a little bit of health. Yeah, cool. It works. It needs polish, but it works. And we also need to like figure out how to spawn them, where to put them, how frequently they're gonna come on. It looks like it's lagging in YouTube. I'm looking at that now. It's not. It didn't actually lag, but it's probably just the stream. Stream can't handle it. But yeah, cool. Cool. There is some built-in procedural textures that you might be able to utilize. Maybe a script or something that layers them on top of one another. Ali 32-bit. I think he might be behind in the stream. Don't know. Cool. All right. I think that's a good stopping point. We've made some good progress. I think we've got the building blocks to make something good. We just need a couple of more things, like the ability to like make them move. right? The enemies need to move. They need to be spawned in. And once we have that, we'll have the gameplay loop. And then we just need to like get a process of actually like feeding the upgrades to the players, how the player gets the upgrades, like does the enemy drop them? So you pick them up, they float down the screen, you've got to move around to get them, but there's things being shot. So I think that's probably makes it a pretty exciting game. So yeah, that's what we'll focus on. I think I'll do Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. I think that works. So I'll be back on Wednesday, if that makes sense. So we'll take that off. Oh, you know what? There's a new Patreon, and he's not on this list. Hang on a second. Open up the GIMP. How could I do that to them? I don't even remember who they are. They were in the Discord, actually. Discord. Discord's been going off. It's in the description, guys, if you want to get in on it. I think it was in pro support. Can we disable streamer mode so I can actually see who this person is, so I can get their name on this list? God damn. Are you excited for GIMP 3? Is that coming? I would be excited if it was. Is that actually a thing? Oh man, where is this? Documents. That's on the public. Is that legit, Ali 32-bit? Or are you yanking my chain? Video projects. Under P for Patreon. Shout out XCF. And then we come here. Yes, and they have massive new features like non-destructive features and multi-layer editing. That's very cool. You know what would be really cool? You know how like Photoshop has like the generative fill? Like if GIMP let you do that, but it was like you had to bring your own AI. I'm not the biggest supporter of AI, but like I think that would be a cool idea to compete, if you know what I'm saying. Let's save that and then export. I guess we'll do that one and replace it. I'm assuming this will just automatically update in OBS. But apparently not. Shout out clear. There we go. That's already a plugin. Oh, is it? I should probably look that up. I'm sure. Honestly, that makes sense because like I thought of it as like the first thing that popped into my mind in terms of competing with Photoshop. But yeah, I'm sure there's people that know how to do that and they have a very good one. We also have a non-AI fill called Resynthesis. I need to look into plugins. I don't use many. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you again to supporters. Jips, Hazza, Color Pants, Rab, Big Green, Nike, Jace, Ricky T, YGG, Squallmonger, Mr. Sparkle, All Year Dude, and newcomer IJS Beer is, I don't know how to say that. I'm going to go with IGS Beer. Who doesn't love beer? Apparently this guy does. Alrighty, dudes. I'll see you on Wednesday. Should we raid? We raid. The stream's effing anyway. I got one viewer on Twitch. It's all good. I'll see you guys later. I'll have to check it out. Thanks again.